I think that each of the four big wrestling companies, like the major ones, that being WWE, AEW, TNA, and New Japan, I think those four should have a national trade deadline. Now, you may be asking, what do you mean by that? Simple. There should be a point in the year where the companies all come together and they make trades within, like, you know what I'm saying, within each other, you know what I'm saying? So when the trade deadline comes, if Britt wants to go over to TNA, she can. And all you need was a superstar to swap that. Now, again, it comes down to, okay, why would Tony Khan and Triple H agree on a trade? Like, say if Triple H wanted Adam Cole back, but freaking Tony Khan was like, all right, well, give me Seth Rollins, you know what I'm saying? Triple H may not take that, you know? I don't think that it should be the approval of the bosses. I think there should be a point where it's like the superstars, if they want to leave their companies, they can just leave them for this week or for these amount of days. You should be allowed to move to companies, switch companies, I should say, you know what I'm saying? Not so much it being like, okay, you need the verification of your boss. No. From the 1st to the 10th, you're allowed to go to another company and stay. You're allowed to sign a contract in another company. But when these 10 days come, you have to work the rest of your contract. You got to do everything. You can't leave. There's no opting out. There's no forcing your way out. No. For these 10 days during the year, say it's January 1st to January 10th, you are allowed to make a decision if you want to sign with a different company. You know, you have 10 days to figure that out. If you don't do anything, then you stay here until your contract expires, then we figure it out then. That's what I think should happen. Now, that probably would never happen because I think there's obviously too many things that have to go into that. But in a way, I do think it separates the whole, okay, what do we do with all these superstars that want to leave? You know, what do we do with all these superstars that want to stay? But at the same time, they could want to stay, and then halfway through the run, they're like, I'm not feeling it no more. But they can't go anywhere because they're locked in a contract. And then you got the contract disputes, and then they do the whole thing on social media. Then it turns into a whole big thing when really you should open up a time period of time where they can just make a decision. Do they want to leave? Do they want to stay? Obviously, it's still a risk because you could end up staying, and then a week comes and you get buried by somebody you didn't expect to. Now you're like, nah, I want to leave, but you can't. You know, so it's a lot to go into that. But I do think it's something that, if implemented the correct way, it could change wrestling for the better. So y'all let me know how you feel about it. So this is why